Next up, we're going to talk about Halo Infinite, and yes, absolutely it is going to be delayed. I'm calling it now. I'm almost positive that Halo Infinite is going to be pushed into, I would say, Q2 of 22. I would say Q2 22. Calling it now, halfway into next year, because it's already launching missing 2 game modes, and now it looks like the campaign's not even complete. And from what we saw from that tech demo, which wasn't even a closed beta, it was a tech demo, multiplayer looked like hot sticky garbage too. So I certainly do not think the game is in a polished enough position to be fed to us. I would spit it right out. I wouldn't taste it. It's undercooked right now. It hasn't reached the internal temperature of 165. You'll get salmonella if you eat that fucking game, so spit it back out. This game is going to be delayed into 2022. Alluded to it during the intro, and I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty squeeze-a-titty why it is going to be delayed. A supposed 343 Industries developer has spoken out on Halo Infinite's lack of co-op and Forge at launch. So this is already confirmed that when the game comes out, you are going to have campaign and multiplayer. You are not going to have Forge, which is basically their builder, their level builder, where you can create your own maps, and you are not going to have a co-op mode. What the fuck? They're launching this game in incomplete condition. Those are 2 modes that need to be in a Halo game, as they are very popular in the Halo community. And considering this is 343's last chance to make the Halo series great again, so to speak. That's not a presidential reference or anything, but make Halo great again. This is their last chance. The first 3 Halo games were absolutely epic. Halo Combat Evolved jumped onto the scene of the original Xbox, being the first ever console first-person shooter that was widely accepted and had good shooting mechanics. It blew up on the scene. Then you got Halo 2, which had dual wielding, and you got to play as the Covenant, and you could go invisible, and they had a sword and shit. And then Halo 3 came out with some of the nastiest multiplayer we've ever seen on a console, and some of the greatest level design. 4 and 5 kind of tapered off a little bit, and then Orbital Drop Shitter Trooper ODST, that was kind of a stinker. Halo 5 had amazing graphics for a console, especially on the One X, but it didn't really break any molds or anything like that. This is kind of Halo's last chance as a franchise to stay relevant and stay what it used to be, which is a glorious first-person shooter that was unique in its own right. So, they're missing 2 modes, which they need to fucking have. It was recently confirmed that Halo Infinite would not be receiving a campaign co-op mode at launch, and that would be coming with Season 2, while Forge is planned for Season 3. How the fuck long is a season? A season in Tarkov, or in between wipes, is about 6 to 8 months. A season in Apex Legends, about 2 to 3 months. Fortnite, it depends. How long's a season here? Are we talking about a season's breeze during autumn? Are we talking a fall drip on the nipples here? How long is a season? We don't know. So they can just throw the word season out there. Fans online were unhappy with the news, and this resulted from a new Reddit post from a person claiming to be a 343 Industries developer. Is he a developer, or is he on piss patrol? He might be the janitor there. We don't know. So his name is Quiet Content, and he claims to have worked at the studio for the better part of a long 2 years on campaign components. And this is what he had to say. A lot of people there are frustrated with this announcement, so I thought I'd shed some light on it because we're insanely frustrated internally as well, says the developer. Not because the delay happened, not at all, but because we wanted to tell you earlier, i.e. they've known the condition of this game and they've wanted to get it out there, but they couldn't because they're probably trying to push, kind of like a Cyberpunk 2077 situation, because they're under pressure to deliver a game. Now, I'm going to say this one time, not really one time because I say it all the fucking time, but it still remains true. A delayed game will eventually be good. A rush game will forever be bad. A great man once said that. I thought it was Confucius. It might have been Buddha. It might have been the late great Theodore Roosevelt. Actually, it was a journalist about 7 years ago that said that. And it is so true. A game can get delayed months or even years and eventually drop and become amazing. Sometimes games drop and they're trash right out of the gate, like No Man's Sky, which people called No Man's By, or even Death Stranding or Days Gone, but then they released some patches and updates and it got good. Again, you can redeem a game and make it better over time. Sea of Thieves was the same way. It was a stinker. Nobody wiped it. But then patch and update later, it's actually very enjoyable. So maybe that's going to be the case here, but I personally, my advice You know, for everything that it matters to 343, me and 343 are super close. They hit me up all the time and they ask me, hey, AK40 Kevin, should we delay this bitch or should we drop it like it's hot? I think you guys should delay it just a little bit, maybe 1 quarter, 1 seasonal or 1 quarter, 1 3-month quarter. That will give you time to polish up and drop the 2 modes, Forge and Co-op, because people are going to enjoy it. The game has been pushing not just delays to Forge and Co-op, but campaign in general. And this is where I'm going to retort to what this supposed developer says. I can see multiplayer making release date in great shape. Can you? Really? With basically all the main modes, plus a couple grab bags to grab you by the sack, including some original stuff we're cooking up on the grill. A different variant of Infection, with original resources and a severely updated invasion mode with new maps. However, campaign is still under some massive strain. You can see multiplayer dropping in a great state because it's funny, because we just had a tech demo a couple of weeks ago that was showing off multiplayer on a very small map with some very stupid ass bots and some very glitchy gameplay. That was strictly a multiplayer demo. I don't think multiplayer is going to be in great shape. And the fact they're saying campaign is under massive strain. So let me break it down like this. They're not going to have Forge. They're not going to have co-op. Campaign is under major strain, and we've seen the condition of multiplayer. That's all 4 of the modes right there, and they're all running shittily. So basically just delay it, please. It's going to be good if you delay it and massage out the bugs and the bugs and glitches and make it run good. Do not pull a CD Projekt Red on this, for the love of God. Halo has potential to be such a good series again. Don't fuck it up.